Yes.
So, good evening, everyone. Today, I'll start the topic professional business communication. Today, I'll choose this topic because I saw that only coding or technical skills is not only required in the IT company, also required the good communication and professional skills to communicate with the client as well as in the company. You need to uh, follow the decorum also. So I'll choose some topic like hearing and listening, role of body language play in listening, quality of listenings required during a client interview, avoid below mentioned things during client interview, and brainstorming. First, hearing and listening. See, this is the very similar words, but it's a similar word, but having different meanings actually. See, hearing is just you actually hear the voice, not understand what the other people say. See, sometime when we communicate with client for requirement analysis and other things, and when we hear in that case, we didn't able to understand the requirement actually. So during any type of communication, we actually try to listen the things. That is why sometimes people told that you hear the things but you didn't listen the things. I saw these things when I am working in the Vizzve project. I saw that many problems occurs when we hear the requirement, not listen the requirement. So that is actually a trick things. For many people, the two actives are one, but in the truth, it's difficult between hearing and listening is vital. See, when we understand that actual phenomena of listening, let's begins with the topic of role of body language play in listening. See, when the active listener listen the things, in that case, he actually pay attention to the what the exact topic are discussed and what is the exact meaning. In that case, he actually arises the questions and understood the exact requirement. In that way, there is no need of reworks or there is no need of reworks required in any task. See, when I'm working in Vizzve, that's my first project, and in that sometime I didn't not understand the exact requirement of the client because at why we did not able to listen because when we did not aware about that functionality, sometimes we didn't aware about the functionality. It's very hard to listen the things. In that case, we only hear the requirement. So we need to understand the uh, how we listen the things. So we need to increase the knowledge for that. So better knowledge give you the give you facilitate to listen the things or exact requirement of the user. So it's very important when you listen the things, make sure your face the speakers and move closer to the speaker, like leaned towards the speaker, and align your head toward the speaker and hold eye contact for longer, not stare the things. You need to make eye contact with him. In that case, the client and or else the product owner think that they actually pay attention to the requirement. So in that case, client or product developer also understand that they pay attention. So they in that case they are actually comfortable to understand. They are comfortable to communicate with the team actually, because sometimes the developers and the client collaborate to work together. For example, in Vizzve, we didn't know the exact requirement of the Vizzve application. So, me and my team and client also work together in this project to accomplish the goal of this project. So, in that case, many times we actually communicate with client and understood the requirement. So, in that case, we actually make the clients and other people comfortable when we actually pay attention to the exact requirement. And that is why I'll choose this topics today, because in the previous when I'm start working, I did not know about these things. I only know about that how to code, but communication is very important. I know in last 4 or 5 weeks and 5 months, I know that the communication is also very important. So what is the good quality of listening required during client interview? See, maintain eye contact, limit your talking, focus on the speaker, ask question, manage your emotions, because manage your emotion, listen with your eyes and ears, listen for ideas and opportunities, remain open to the conversation, confirm understanding, and perhaps give non-verbal message that you are listening actually, uh, and ignore distraction. See, uh, before understood this topic, so during the client interview, I saw some problems in my side, that I actually interrupt the conversation sometime, and also I also sometime I saw that my non-verbal message is not appropriate. Non-verbal message in this sense, when we communicate in non-verbal manner, like our face expression and body languages, uh, like our eye contacts, it's also pronounce our non-verbal behavior towards the client during the communication actually. See, sometime you are not able to communicate in English fluently, but your non-verbal communication is very important when you are in video conferencing with client. So that is very important. Okay, so in that case, you need to make eye contact with the clients, and suppose first you need to understand the exact requirement. When the client close the call, then then you start asking the question. In between the conversation, you didn't need to interrupt that, and try to first client accomplish their talkings, and then you start asking the question, because asking questions is very important for the conversation, to understand the requirement of the client. And during the sometime when you are working with client, you many functionality you did not know about that. For example, I didn't know some functionality in mobile application development, but we didn't need to express that feelings during the conversation. See, client is very smart. He actually read your face and non-verbal behavior. So you need to control your emotion and look confident and cheerful behavior. Like you need to make a smile face, as well as good eye contact with confidence. That is really required during the conversation. And ignore distractions like any other calls or anything else during the conversation process. You didn't need to do these things, like you didn't interrupt during the call, show sign of impatience, like you did for example, some of the functionality is not appropriate. Don't be impatient at that time. Don't be impatient. You need to first understand the requirement, because sometime many time I'll saw these things that I'm impatient during the conversation. I didn't understand the exact requirement. I saw those things in myself. So that's why I'll understood that we need to understand these things. Judge and argue mentally means when we biased during conversation. For example, there is two things: pros and cons of the any task or any functionality, but we didn't need to bias from pros as well as cons. We didn't need to bias, because see, when we developed any things, that is not perfect 100%. During the we actually our task is to accomplish the task given by the client. We didn't need to think much to improvise that, because our first target is to achieve the goal. So in that case we didn't need to judge or argumentally. Multitasking during a conversation, for example, when we communicate, in video calls, sometime we actually saw so many different things, and sometime we actually off the video as well as see in professionally we didn't need to do these things. Multitasking means same time we are coding as well as we are communicating, so both is interrupted. Both is interrupted, coding as well as communication. In that case, for us, in that, for example, when I'm writing the code, and at that time client call me, at that time we need to pay attention to the understanding the task, because we didn't understand that things and we commit that things. After the conversation, client always told that I'll mention that things. In that case, your requirement becomes bigger and bigger. So you need to pay attention to the one task at a time. You didn't need to do two different things like coding as well as communication. Both are not at a single time. You didn't do these things. Project your ideas. During conversation you didn't need to give your ideas. When anyone asks about your ideas or else uh, your opinion, you need to give that. Okay, think about what to say next. Have expectation or preconceived ideas. Become defensive or assume you are being attacked. Use uh, condensing, aggressive or closed body language. Listen with biased and close to new ideas. Jump to conclusion or finish someone sentence. See, sometime you know about that ideas as ideas. And for example, when sometime when me and Deepak communicate with each other, and we actually sometime we conversate about the functionality, and during first or second sentence of the Deepak, I understood what Deepak want to say. I'll actually interrupt it, jump to the conversation that I'll told that this thing we need to do. So that is not a good thing. First, we need to listen to people and understood that what he actually want to say. Sometimes it's understandable. Sometimes you actually think same, but you need to listen first. Okay. And my last topic is brainstorming. It's very important topic actually. Brainstorming is very important in any industries. Brainstorming is very efficient way to generate new ideas and to finding solution to our problems. See, when we are working in a team, okay, and we actually stuck in a problem, or else we didn't have idea to accomplish any task. Teamwork is very important, as well as we need to uh, give permission to say that that allow people to think freely, and also encourage to give their ideas or their opinion freely. Okay, in that case, sometime for example, sometime me and Abhay start working on a particular task, and when for example Deepak assigned me a task, but I'm not understand that task actually, and also not understand how to do these things. So in that time we need to encourage our teammates to give the ideas, because see, every one have their aspects as well as working knowledge. So sometime when I'm stuck in any backend algorithms, Abhay helped me out, and when he helped me, we actually reduce the time of development when we work together. Okay, during during the actually I'll mention these topics because see, I'll accomplish my first project, so I'll saw the so many things which actually affect the development as well as communication process with the client. So I need as well as I'll suggest my colleagues to emphasize these things which actually help you to communicate in the good way, as well as to accomplish your task or goals. That's all, guys. Hello, hello,
Yeah, Mohit.
yeah, hello, guys. You are bored or no?
Hi, yes, Mohit.
No, no, no. Go
Actually,
ahead.
yeah. So, guys, in these way, I'll actually figure out some issues I'll face in development process. For example, we actually not monitored or estimate our tasks in proper manner. That is the biggest issue which we faced during the development. We didn't create the task or story point. We didn't follow the proper manner of agile methodology during the development. So, see, in some day before, when we communicate with the client regarding what we did in the August and September. In that time, client told that we actually told you this thing, told you these things. That problems occur not proper due to not proper conversation in the proper manner, actually, because we didn't mention the task or estimation is properly. For example, we need to track our task in proper manner, because sometime we actually work more than 8 hours, but we didn't not able to estimate at least 6 hours or 5 hours. So we need to actually work in the proper manner, like we need to track the details, write the every task in descriptive way, to understand the requirement of the client. So for this process, we actually need to listen the things first, right? Hello,
Yes,
hello.
Yes.
yes, yes.
So that is why, guys, I'll choose this topic.